What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another Beers and Footy. Cheers, Ren Diggity Dog.
Camp Dog.
The only man I want to spend my Sunday with. We are here. I mean, it is a wild week. Also, the Captain's Run with Cameron Smith, the show that I did on the week, earlier in the week.
Yes.
She's gone to number one.
Of course.
Straight to number one.
Hey, he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. Absolutely.
Of course. Good on you. Congrats.
And like, because they didn't really know, like his team didn't really know about podcasts. Like they do, but not as deeply as I do.
Melbourne.
I mean,
it's another country.
Mate, they don't know what's going on down there. But he's like SEN and that. Like they know about podcasts, but I've done a bit with whatever. Anyway, I said to them, guarantee number one, and they were like, "You sure?" I said, guarantee, it's going to number one, baby.
Let's go.
And that's what happened, baby.
Another cheers.
Fuck, you know what? And you know what it all comes down to? It's the goating. It's the fucking goating. Broncos win. Smithy to number one. It's the goating.
I've got plenty to say about the Broncos at half time too, by the way.
We are here obviously watching a great game. Yeah, before we move on, rest in peace to Bob Fulton.
Fulton?
Yeah, passed away this morning. Long battle with cancer.
Wow.
Legend of the game, immortal, Manly, great.
Wow. Yeah. Didn't know about that.
Yeah, man. There's not much to say. It's just devastating. I mean, his impact will be forever.
You lose two greats of the game in the same year. It's quite sad. So R.I.P. Fulton. Shout out to his family.
Absolutely. I mean, as I said, no words can really. They don't do anything. Words don't do shit. But I guess from an NRL player, I guess we thank you for his legacy. If his family is, struggling, the one part they can take out of this is there's thousands of millions even of rugby league fans and rugby league players that are grateful to him for what he has done for us.
Oh, for sure. I mean, not only what he did on the field, but especially off the field, his influence at Manly and an Australian selector for years.
Yep, absolutely. Now onto the game at hand. The Penny Panthers versus the moustache on Walker.
I saw that.
It's aggressive. I like it. I think they're going to do a minute silence or some silence, so I guess we will join them in that silence. Oh, they're doing Welcome to the Land?
Welcome to country.
Oh, Welcome to Country. I like that.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I just went out to Broken Hill and did some stuff with the Indigenous community, and it opened up my eyes, and it's another conversation, Kemby, but I think it's particularly important to recognise the traditional owners of this land.
Mate, watching the weather, the packed crowd, get me back on there, coach.
I'm emotional. I'm psyched up for this one, Kemby.
100%.
I'm riding off the back of raw emotion of watching a casual fan with the Broncos and Roosters and the new rule change. But Sunday afternoon footy, I used to love playing at Penrith on a Sunday.
Really?
This reminds me of playing at Penrith. So I think they definitely have the advantage. The Penny Panthers not only being a great side, but having this day game advantage.
They honestly, if they win the premiership this year, this could be like the greatest 2 years ever for a club. I know back-to-back is obviously better with the Roosters, but to think that we had the Roosters back-to-back and now we're seeing this kind of dominance, and then you mix in the Storm there that's just been dominant for fucking the whole time.
And just purely their dominance last night.
Oh, mate.
Like, seriously?
With Munster, Hughes, Harry Grant, Kenny Bromwich, all out. Now, I know the Raiders had a lot out too, but they kind of cancelled each other out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're on an even playing field. And for them to go out and fucking just...
Put 30, what was it, 24 points on in the second half?
Crazy.
Or 22.
Nico Hines, 13 tackle breaks.
It's incredible.
He's their seventh string fullback in the last 2 years.
Where does Canberra go? Well, you know how they talk about bringing in these two new teams?
Yeah.
Where are we going to get the extra players?
Melbourne.
Just go through the Melbourne system.
It's fucking Melbourne reserve grade.
Third string, fourth string, fifth string half, and bring them into a new side.
We should have just Melbourne reserve grade as the 17th side.
Oh my God. 100%.
Because seriously, they are a joke. They're honestly
the Trell.
The big dog. Boom. Look at that for the big man.
Look how
my God.
How much is he GI like?
Mate,
everything about him.
He's incredible. And you know what's scary is that he's won 2 premierships. He's Dally M Centre of the Year. He's moved to another position, but he's actually, I would argue, he's got silkier ball skills than GI did.
Yeah,
You know?
There's no argument there.
So, like, you could even argue that his ceiling could be higher than GI. And that's coming from a guy that thinks GI is the greatest outside back of all time, period.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's incredible. But you got to think about who made that blueprint for Latrell. It's GI. You know, it's players like GI.
Yeah.
You know, they watch these great players and then they evolve and they naturally become better players because then they start nitpicking from other players.
Yep. Mate, it's
a great set from South.
From the Fudge is back, 11. Given the goatee is solely responsible for the Broncos turnaround, how long are you going to keep it, Kempy? That's the path I've led myself down. Do I keep it until the boys lose?
I want to see some sort of Chinese Buddhist monk with
the only issue is Mrs. has already left me. So
what?
Yeah,
she's not happy.
Well, she's not. She's left me. We're over.
Gone.
Yeah, she's gone. She said,
still got the ring on.
I've still got it on.
You've been petting.
No, I'm not being petting. If my missus is leaving me over a goatee, what kind of relationship is that? He's off. Burton's off. He's the fastest man alive. Oh, what a ball. He's going to break 6. He's going to score 2. Yeah, he'll break it. Oh, great tackle.
That is just strength on strength.
Mate, Burton's a joke. How good is he? You know, sorry, Bulldogs fans, and I really mean this with...
Don't you dare say it.
All due respect.
Don't you dare.
I wish he stayed at Penrith.
Don't you dare.
Because I want to see him kill it. No, I mean, he might kill it.
Well.
Wow.
My God, the complete half.
That was nearly the greatest hold up of all time. Mate, Cleary is fucking so good.
This team, a well-oiled cult.
Mate, yeah, well-oiled cult. There's got to be something going on over there.
They're drinking goat's blood.
Bolsa.
Kick out.
I mean, that's so hard to stop. Look at this. That's a 6. That's a half.
Just moving in the blue and white.
Mate.
Let's make this competition fair.
No way.
He wants a mid-season transfer.
Renege on the contract.
Little skip-overs on... Liam Knight.
What's crazy is that...
Liam's got a 13 on, but he's actually an 8.
Yeah, he is an 8.
So don't be fooled, Knighty. You're not a lock. I like Knighty. Great kid.
He is a cool. I really like Liam Knight.
But don't ever put the 13 on him. Give him the 17 or the 18.
Well, I think they got him. Well,
that's Cam. You got to retire the jersey, Cam Murray's jersey. No one can wear it.
Yeah, it's true. I saw Cam Murray recently. Still hot.
How's he going?
Still hot as fuck.
Right? How long is he out for?
I think about 2 more weeks. I think his mindset was he didn't want to rush it back and then be out for longer.
Yeah, fair enough. Come to Voltaren, you'd be right, mate.
You'd be right. Just fucking totally ruin your guts. Mate, how bad are they for your gut? Bruh.
I tell you what, they used to hand them out like Skittles. Spicy food, I'm in trouble.
Dylan Renew says, "Don't hurt us, dog fans like that." Look,
look, I'm with him.
Look, I know it hurts to say,
easy, mate.
But look,
You're for the people, yeah.
I'm for the people.
And the players.
I'm for the players.
So that is Bulldogs involved. That's included.
Yeah, I know, but
don't ruin it.
But come on.
Yeah,
look, it's going to be tough.
We're doing it tough, mate.
He's missed it. That's it. They're going to lose now.
Yep.
Scores, but look, I want him to go to the Doggies, obviously, because I want the Doggies to turn around. But if he goes to Doggies and struggles, it'll be devastating. You know what I mean? Kind of like Josh Adokar. He could have gone down as one of the greatest wingers of all time. He may still go down as that, but you'd say the odds on that happening now, you look at a guy like Kotrick who has struggled since going to the Doggies. He was a bit better last night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're going to struggle.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to just go to a club and then the perfect sort of formula comes together and they're going to start being a top 4 team within 12 months. It's not realistic.
Mate, it's shocking the fact that they've got a 6 playing centres running like a high-quality centre.
Who did he replace?
So you had Naden. So there's Paul Moravsky and Naden, and then...
I'm thinking off the back of last year. I'm thinking he was in and out of the side, obviously.
Yeah, at 6, and they had... In the centres, they had... who they have last year? They had Naden, who was coming off the bench. Tyrone May started the grand final in the centres, and then the other centre was Crichton. Fisher Harris is out and out the best full front row in the game right now, in my opinion.
I think he has been for the last 2 years.
In saying that, if you put Payne Haas in this side, I think he becomes, undoubtedly the best front rower. Imagine being Payne Haas. Like, the amount of efforts he puts in every single week is almost absurd. In a struggling side, they were great last night.
They were great. I think it's, hindsight, for me, because I'm like a casual fan, and I'll say it probably numerous times. So I float in and out of the newsreels, float in and out of what's going on in the game. And I saw one journo's comments in particular about Albert Kelly, and I thought it was interesting. And given that they won, I get it, and Albert Kelly had a great game, I thought, don't write this bloke off yet. Yeah, his first touch was out on the full. But to see what he was doing off the ball and leading that team around and putting his body in front defensively, if you look at Brisbane's players that stood up last night, all veterans. Yeah. Asiata, Albert Kelly, Matt Lodge, not a veteran.
To an extent, compared to everyone else.
Compared to everyone else.
Yep.
Who am I forgetting? David Mead.
Yeah, yep.
Dale Copley.
Yep.
Copley.
Yep.
Senior blokes, things that the Broncos have struggled with.
Yeah.
To not have those older heads on the field. And I thought Albert Kelly was a perfect introduction. A person that probably can't consistently play that kind of football. We know that Albert Kelly, how talented he is. He floats in and out of games. But I thought he was great last night.
Well, I don't even... Like, the good thing about a guy like Albert Kelly, and even Tyson Gamble to an extent, it's not necessarily about their skill set. It's their attitude that we need.
Their desire.
They are... You know, I loved... Like, Albert Kelly is... Oh, we're nearly on here. Albert Kelly is...
idea to run on the last.
He's much bigger than he used to be as well. Yeah. So he actually was quite a big body at 6, which was surprising.
I watched him play a fair bit. He had quite a bit of success over in the Super League. He did well at Hull. And I just thought he was... You know, to bounce back from a kick out in the full after a 7-year hiatus. Yeah. And then watching him off the ball. Yep. Putting himself in positions to... attack, putting his body in front of a back rower, coming up with good plays. I just thought it was just a bit of stability is what the Broncos needed. And then the forwards did their own role. I thought they really stood up to the Roosters.
Massively. That was the best performance by our forwards, in my opinion, that I've seen in probably 2-3 years.
What?
Because they didn't break. This is a ravaging...
10-15 minute period before half time where I think... Every team trains the same, correct?
Yeah.
Everyone
absolutely.
trains as hard as each other.
Yeah.
But you can't take experience away from when it gets tough. Generally, your leaders.
Was that just wait? Sorry, that was a high tackle. Was that a high tackle?
Yeah, penalty.
Oh my fuck!
Let's not go there yet. I'm worked up. I've got plenty to go on that, Campy.
Okay, sorry. Continue your train of thought. I'm sorry.
It just showed that how important an experienced player is within a forward pack. Or it's not necessarily that a player is not unfit. It's that they're not mentally tough enough to stay with the bigger teams.
Absolutely.
For a longer period. And that's not a disrespect. And I know it's a word thrown around a little bit about mentally tough. They're all tough. Everyone's tough.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when you're under fatigue for those long periods of time, being able to have enough players within that 13 to hold on to a team with momentum, hold them out.
It's more like everyone's tough. It's more about standards. You know what I mean? Like in the sense of like, no matter how we're feeling, no matter how fatigued we are, we have a standard and it is non-negotiable, you know?
Yes.
That's correct. What Storm do so fucking well. And obviously Penrith have been doing so well.
Yeah. That's 100% spot on because I hate to go back to the former, but when I came through the Bulldog system, you had a minimum standard. Yeah. And I was way more petrified to let my teammate down than I was playing against a Darren Lockyer or a Brad Fittler.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
There was so much riding on what my next movement was. So I wasn't embarrassed all week at training and be able to look my teammate in the eye.
Absolutely. And that it's just accountability and standards that...
When you're under fatigue, you become selfish.
Fatigue,
you look for a shortcut.
Mate,
100%.
Fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Yes, that's the old saying.
Yep, and it really does.
I'll attest to that.
Yeah.
The amount of times I used to look to the sideline when I was under fatigue and go, fuck, I hope that interchange is for me. Yep.
Or even like little things like as a winger, please don't kick my wing. Please don't kick my wing. I'm fucked. I can't do a scoot. It's another. So second high tackle from the Rabbitohs. Yeah. So we'll speak about this game. Sorry, people that have tuned in to listen to speak about Penny Panthers. Look, I just think this is actually a bigger game for the Rabbitohs than the Penrith Panthers.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Penrith Panthers could drop this game and it's kind of like, well, whatever. Rabbitohs, if they get, 13 plus, it's worrying that that means that they, the evidence of last 2 weeks ago when they got beaten like 50 or whatever, 50 to by the Storm,
450-0, wasn't it, or something like that?
50-6 or something along those lines. Excuse me.
No.
The worrying sign would be is that yes, they can towel up the smaller side, the lower sides, but when they get to the cream of the crop, how do they play? And that has been the knock on the Rabbitohs, is that
the last couple of years.
Yeah, their lack of consistency sets them up poorly for this. Wow, that's good hands.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God.
They're unstoppable. Like, you're getting it to To'o, and he's a bigger tackle breaker than Kick-Out, and he's offloading a Kick-Out. You know what I mean?
It's insanity. I mean, they're just a really
And he got Burton inside him.
oiled machine.
Fucking hell.
We spoke off air before, and I thought there must be a part of a cult. There's something going on out in Penrith.
Something going on. Look at that. Mate, they must be sacrificing fucking Panthers or some shit.
They're drinking Panther
They're
blood.
drinking Panther blood. Remember the old cow blood? I won't say which club it was. Remember the old cow blood and fucking
Was it the cow blood? Oh, I'm not
in
sure.
2000
I
and
mean, yeah, it's all in good spirit.
Allegedly. alleged cow blood. The fucking Panthers are bloody drinking
This is just-
Panthers blood.
When they're all like, they're having so much fun while they're doing it and
Yep.
so confident. It's just a hard team to beat.
Oh, they're so confident and they're so elite in every position. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're so well balanced.
Yes, every single player can hurt you. You even look at the Storm side and you could say, okay, maybe there's one or two players that aren't going to hurt you, but they're going to go all day. You look at the Panthers side, every single player on the field, especially their starting 13, maybe their bench, maybe not, can absolutely break the game apart and could arguably be a superstar in any other side.
Yes.
You got Kurt Catewell, who went to Origin and killed it. You got a guy like Liam Martin, who's hit his straps, incredible line runner. You've got Appy Coruscant, who's,
Is this his second season with the club, Uppy?
yes, he left, he went to Manly, and then he came back.
Yes, but it's his
Second season.
Second season.
First season, he took them all the way to fucking grand final.
Yeah, well, he was the difference in the team.
Way difference. And I spoke about it a lot on the podcast at the time. I said, what Penrith have lacked for ages was a good nine.
Yeah.
Now, they get Appy Coruscant, and it unlocks Cleary. All of a sudden, it's like this unsung hero of unlocking Cleary's potential is a good dummy half that offers good service.
And then you put Jerome Luai in the back, on the other end of that.
I wonder what happens with that. I love To'o. But you know how he ducks like that? What happens if he gets hit in the head? Actually, no, we're not going to get to it.
We're not going there yet.
We're not going there.
Oh, I'm fired up.
Fuck, you'll blow up. We'll get fucking banned from fucking YouTube. Worrying signs for Penrith. For South.
Yeah.
They started very aggressive, but it's looking like a premiership threat versus a top 6 side. It's not looking like two heavyweights going at it. Oh, he's so good, To'o.
He just finds his front every time.
Liam Martin, look at that. Look at the roll on they get. It's a joke. Like, how do you stop that from after To'o's good run?
And you got that.
Look at that.
Footwork.
Holy. Wow.
This could be anything.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
my God.
What did I tell you about any guy can tear you apart? That's Kurt Catewell. That's not Kick-Out. The Kick-Out on the other end, and then it's Kurt Catewell on the other side.
Yeah, that right edge has looked off in the first 10 minutes.
Holy
15 minutes.
moly.
Like, that is incredible.
That is a joke. That's your less flashy back rower for the Panthers.
Look at that, where it started from. Bit of footwork around the AB defender.
Look at this. Fend.
Step.
The problem, like Johnston, Latrell did good then because he forced him to Johnston. Johnston needs to make that tackle.
Footwork. Boom.
Look, he forced him way away from him. So Johnson has to make that tackle because Latrell's jockeying him towards him. Whereas if Latrell commits too much, inside ball try.
That's where it started.
Yeah, absolutely.
Skip overs.
You know actually where it started? It was To'o's run. That's where it started.
Yeah, that's where it started.
You know what I mean?
People don't know.
They don't know. They don't see that To'o got in his front.
Right, I found his front. Quick play of the ball.
Rabbitohs on their back foot.
Coruscant out of dummy half.
Yes.
Yo. Has anyone actually clarified how to pronounce his last
Honestly,
name?
Yeo. I wish it was Yeo.
Yeo.
Yeo's down the sideline. Yeo.
Yeo.
Yeah, and that's another thing is Dylan Renew, Yayo's step though. That's why you could argue putting Isaiah Yeo at 13 for the Blues because he's with Jerome Luai and Cleary, and obviously Victor Adley's probably not going to be there.
Cam Murray's not going to be there.
Cam Murray's not going to be there.
Choice.
I think it's almost cemented now.
Oh, absolutely.
You could Jake Trbojevic, but I just think if you put those three together, look, what was the key ingredient to Queensland's dominance? It was Slater, Cronk, Smith, and then you chuck in Thurston that can work with them as well.
Yeah.
I think that if you're the New South Wales and you want to build something, and Cameron Smith, because I got a show with Cameron Smith, not a big deal, whatever.
Who's Cam Smith?
It's whatever. Like he comes back, he wants a show. Who's he call? He calls a beak. It's all the goatee. It's all the goatee. I'm telling you, my life has changed for the best since the goatee. Mrs. has left me, but other than that, it's great. Smithy said a really good point he brought up is when you're thinking of the next 10 years for the Blues, why wouldn't you put Jerome Luai and Cleary together? Because they can play for the next 10 years together.
We don't think 10 years ahead, New South Wales. We never have.
Yeah.
Queensland have always taken the chance.
Yep. It's true.
We will pick purely on... We'll give guys a second chance that probably don't, or third chance, probably don't deserve another chance, whereas Queensland have always taken the risk, and it's paid off.
Mate, it absolutely has. And what's crazy is like you take the risk, you build that squad, and we have that 8 in a row, but we're still feeling the echoes of the culture created in that 8 in a row. If we didn't have that 8 in a row, there's no way the side last year gets the win.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But those standards that were set in that 8 in a row by greats, like multiple immortals, arguably, I think that those standards that were set then paid dividends with a team that some of those guys couldn't even make their NRL side.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've got a bit of a slightly
Speak to me.
different opinion. I mean, you think of what the Queensland of the 90s did as well.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's a Queensland standard.
Yeah, that's true.
Not only the 8 in a row.
Yep.
There was a standard before the 8 in a row that they got him the 8
This
in a row.
battler. Yeah, okay. No.
That's how I see it.
I know. You know what? You're totally right. And when entering the show, you're fired.
Sorry, mate.
Even though you're not hired or anything. No, you're right, actually. That is everything I said is bullshit. No longer listen to me about anything.
Sorry, Cam.
No, but you're right, though.
Casual fan, mate. Just enjoy
you know what?
a cardigan.
You know what the issue? You know why you're right is because you're right, but it's also because like I only started watching footy 2006.
I am a lot older than you, Cam.
No, but I didn't grow up playing footy or watching it.
Yeah, right.
So I didn't know about all that shit that happened before. So you're totally right. There is this kind of Queensland underdog spirit that is etched in them.
I don't know what it is. I mean, the Mark Coyne try still kills me.
Yep.
I remember being a 10-year-old at the SFS and the whole New South Wales crowd screaming out Wally's a wanker, and he just loved it. He would carry that Queensland spirit and that team, and you know, the back 90s and the early thousands, and it was sort of to and fro. Then we actually, you know, the Joey era.
Yeah.
And then I just think there was enough spirit or enough standards set by the 90s.
Yeah.
That Cam Smith, Cronk, Billy all
build off,
and JT.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. That's,
how many memorable moments do you remember? A New South Wales memorable moments. No one remembers the 50-0 game.
Pumping. It's so true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone knows the Mark Coyne try.
Like we've always got we've got a lot of epic moments of comebacks, whereas I feel like when New South Wales win, they just dominate.
Yeah, they dominate. Exactly. How many?
Other than Tedesco recently, that on the buzzer, but that wasn't really a comeback. You should have won that.
Yeah, we should have won that. But there's not really that many sort of big moments where you go, that was a New South Wales moment.
Yeah, iconic origin big moment. Yeah, it's true. I think it's because we're the little brother. Like
true.
You know,
we act like he's the little brother.
Yeah, but we fucking knock the big dogs out. we're that little brother that's over
from New South Wales. I won't let that go. That's one point that I like. You go back to the position that New South Wales was in because you had Matt Cooper and Mark Gasnier as our centres, and they were still in their prime.
Yeah.
But then you've got this kid like GI, who's Queensland's just going, hey, here's a jersey.
Yeah.
Just you want this jersey? You can play Origin.
Yeah. Yep.
And then, therefore, it pays off.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge play. And honestly, you could argue it because, like, there's so many games. If we didn't have GI, we lose. Like, he literally would just explode games apart.
Exactly.
Like, and you just be like, where the fuck did that come from?
You go, where do you bring him into the New South Wales side in that era?
True.
You
No,
know, like
without
it's just
disrespecting greats.
Without disrespecting
Yeah.
Matt Cooper, and who was the
So
best
true.
defensive centre, and you had, Gaz, who was the best attacking centre in the game.
Yep, absolutely. No, I totally agree. I'm just looking at my goatee on camera.
Outstanding.
Jesus, that's disgusting. I look like Adam Sandler from Uncut Gems.
Oh, they are human. They just dropped the ball. Burton.
He should renege on his contract. He wouldn't if he didn't sign with the
Rip up
doggies.
his contract,
if he didn't sign with the doggies, he wouldn't have dropped that ball. He's already getting the effects.
Psychologically, he's thinking about that pen. Why to do it? Oh, fuck.
Well, for some people watching, the reason why we can't stream the game like on our screen is because we'll get flagged for like copyright. So that sucks. But it is what it is. Maybe one day, if you know what, we buy enough beer cases, we'll be able to buy the digital rights to NRL, and that's not even a fucking G up.
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh,
where were ya?
there was no need for it. Play short.
But Mansour's got to be there. He's got to be up flat. That's the winger's job to be there up flat.
I thought it was the wrong player.
You reckon? Look, he's got to be there. He's got to give Code. He's got to give him an opportunity or an option. Yeah. He was no option there.
Flat.
But you're right though. If you went,
he's usually a left winger, isn't he? The Mansour's.
I'm not sure, but that's just an effort thing, I think. But concentration thing. You know what I mean? Like always being ready, just in case.
Especially when you got a new half like Cody Walker, you got to be ready. You got to be on the ball.
Absolutely. 16-0, and like Rabbitohs don't even look like scoring.
Look like they've turned up.
Look at that. Now Penrith are like playing
touch footy, Oztag.
Yeah, it's become too easy.
Let's have a bit of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this, in my opinion, is what can separate Penrith from a club like the Storm. Yep. The Storm don't do that. Nah. They very rarely, except for the grand final, they did it. It was
foot on the throat.
Yeah.
Tear you apart.
Ruthless. Absolutely ruthless. It's a great run. Man, do you think a guy with To'o, a guy like To'o, I love to say that name.
To'o, yep.
To'o. Am I saying it wrong? Probably saying it wrong. Butchering it. Are wingers grossly underpriced in the sense that if you're a guy like To'o that's averaging 280 metres a game, whereas a front rower, I know he does more tackles, but he's not scoring tries, he's not catching high bombs. But a front rower, you're paying more money than a winger.
Yeah.
Could you argue that they are increasing in value? Because when you look at a team like Penrith, 2 of their tries they don't score without a player like To'o.
100%. You're absolutely spot on. And it's the way the game's developing is that the winger was a person that hung out with footballers.
Absolutely.
It was always take the piss out of the winger.
Yeah.
But you're right. And it's been like this for a long time now.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that they're coming in, taking tough carries, getting on the front foot, having more carries than anyone, really.
Yeah, exactly. More touches.
They're expected to.
Yeah.
Your job, if you're not defending, is to get as many carries in as possible.
Absolutely.
Catch high balls.
Yeah.
You don't want to see fundamental errors from a fucking winger when you've just busted your ass.
Nah, no way.
So the top line wingers that are producing numbers like Brian To'o, they deserve to be well paid.
I think so too. I think it's
equality. In the workforce.
They're quality. They're underpaid.
Wingers want more.
They want more. Wingers matter. I'm sick of. I'm sick to death of us being disrespected. Our feelings matter, and we contribute. That play is
Jaden.
They do that play.
Why do that?
Clockwork.
Why do that?
Yeah, no, it's a.
I love the way he plays, but you got kick out coming on you, and he tries to put a shoulder charge on. Just be effective.
But look where they are. Now they've got Rabbitohs on the back foot. It's like clockwork. Drop, kick out under, fast play the ball, and they take advantage of it every single time.
Yep. Front foot.
Look at that.
Advantage line.
Look at that. They're so dangerous. Cleary's barely even puffing.
There's not even a bead of sweat on his forehead.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, my God.
That's
high tackle.
Oh, wow. That's got to hurt.
Right out there.
What about the pinpoint accuracy of the kick, though? Like on the run, just a little dink. That's harder than people realise. Oh, man, I don't know about that. That's a tough call. Very tough call. I can't. Honestly,
Wow.
Wow, Mansell. The Lebanese blood. It's getting all bubbled and fired up.
See, this is the power the referees think they have now. They're coming over to tell a winger off.
Yeah. Look, wingers matter, and I'm sick of it. Even the refs are disrespecting us. It's fucked.
Don't you speak to my linesman like that.
Honestly. I do feel, I know the refs have to be firm, but sometimes the way they speak to players, I'm like, are you serious? What a play.
Oh, my God.
They are a joke. This is a pizzling. And I said to you before on air, and it can be confirmed, 13. I said 13 plus Panthers.
He did say it.
I
can confirm.
What's crazy is there's even like a gap between the top 5. You know what I mean? If you really sat down and said who's going to win it, you'd be crazy not to say Penrith or
Melbourne.
Storm.
Who do you think's going better at the moment? Obviously,
I think Penrith.
You think?
Oh, I mean,
I just see what
Yeah,
Melbourne did
I know.
with a skeleton team, really.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the players that are stepping in. That's just
incredible.
Just the system they have.
They nearly went, I think it was like 5 games on the trot, scoring 40 points.
And they were on the pump for 30 minutes. Canberra came to play.
10-0 down. They were 10-0 down.
And then they went into halftime 12-10 up.
No, 6. They scored right on the buzzer, 16, like fucking 14 or whatever. But they were 10-0 down.
Yes.
And then they came out in the second half and absolutely dissed them.
There was still enough strike in that Canberra side. You know, you got Whiten out, you got Croker out.
Yep.
There was still enough players within that side that should have put away that Melbourne team.
Well, at least contest. You know what I mean?
30-minute contest.
It was only 30 minutes. Man.
Did you watch Ricky's?
Mate, I watched it.
It was awkward.
He was ready to kill someone. His head was about to explode.
Conversation you can have. I don't know if you've had it. I don't know if it like as I've said before. I don't know if there's anything going on in Canberra, but there must be something going on.
There's absolutely 1 bazillion % something going on. They made the prelim last year.
You know how it's like it's not sustainable. How many times have I said it?
Yeah, I know.
To play under a coach.
You said it at the start of the year as well.
To play under a coach that can be a little bit of a dictator that likes it his way.
Yep.
He's a fucking great coach to be on. If you're on his side, you're on his side.
Yeah.
It's like they're just grasping a hold of each other going, all right, let's turn up. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong.
Yep.
30 minutes in, no, this is too hard.
Yep.
Fuck this.
And it's not even, it's this, when you start, anyone can play well for 30 minutes. Yep. But when the going gets tough, if you're not fully like, that's my brother, and I'll fucking die for him, you just get broken apart. Yeah. And Ricky Stewart has a very similar coaching style in the sense of his, aggressive standards to Michael Maguire.
What will this be? So this is another high tackle. See, this is confusing to me. Sorry, Kempy. So he's been pinged for a high tackle.
Let's have a look at this.
Accidental. What?
That's outrageous!
Oh, man.
That is outrageous!
12 minutes we had to talk about it.
I got a headache.
At least he didn't get sin bitten. Like, it's not... Should we go now?
We have to. It's like, I've been getting blue balls this whole time. Just playing. They'll be tickling me nuts. Tickling me nuts with fucking head highs. And I've got to go.
Go, get it off the chest.
The argument that if you disagree with the way it's been implemented, that therefore you want head highs is nonsense. I don't want head highs either.
Bullshit. No.
I don't want head highs. But why weren't... I mean, that's a completely different kettle of fish. That was a joke. That was an actual joke.
I saw worse than that.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Matt Lodge's one. He literally touched him. He fucking got 10 for 10. The NRL came out earlier this week and said that there is no evidence that there's more fatigue. Because they're trying to go against the narrative the RLP saying there's more fatigue. If that is true, because they're saying it, why didn't you give the the clubs, the players, and the refs a full preseason to learn a new tackling technique?
This is killing me. Like, again, as a casual fan, I watch news recycle every year. It's the same recyclable news. Player bloody scandal, player movement, recyclable. It's just continual conversation. And then over since Magic Round, I'm hearing noise about the high tackle. But what got me focused on the game was watching. I wanted to see this Suwali kid play. 17-year-old. Like, fuck, what an animal. Like, just Silky. To see, to fathom that a 17-year-old is on that fucking field.
It's crazy.
It's insanity.
Mate, he's at school studying for HSC.
I'm just like, I've got to watch this game.
100%.
Now, I have not watched anything external, listened to anything external, read anything external today, particularly just for this podcast.
Yeah.
When you messaged me last night, I wanted to have I had some sort of raw emotion about how I felt about the game.
Yeah.
And last night, what I witnessed was the death of rugby league. I know, I don't even say that as a joke.
The way we know it, that's for sure.
Well, some of the things that I saw last night, they lost control of the game.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Like, now, to go... So the first thing that got me was insane, was Bradley's first sin binning. I thought, hang on, they've gone back 3-4 plays. The player has stood up after it.
Yeah.
Albert Kelly, right?
Penalty max.
Forceful contact.
Yeah.
10 in the bin. I thought, whoa, what's going on here? The second one I'm happy with. Like, I'll say he got Tavita high. It came off the ball and hit him in the shoulder.
Absolutely.
In the head. Right.
With the new rules, you'll cop that.
You're like, look, as a footy fan, fucking love that combat shit. I love that he's sticking up for his halfback. Yeah, you want to keep running at my half?
Yep.
Here, I'm coming down a short side, bang. Everyone's Victor the Afflictor, Penrith in again.
Boone scored again!
It's going to go to 50.
News, doggies, out of the race for Burton's signature.
Just in. Burton resigns.
He's a joke. That's a fucking 6 playing centre. He's so good. It's 26-0. Wow. I mean, wow. The Penrith Panthers... And the problem... You know what the problem as well is that the Penrith Panthers have been a mile better side. But you've left room for the South fans, like our producer right now who's crying in the corner because he's a Rabbitohs fan. But you leave room for... Well, that try just there... Well, that wasn't a head high earlier. You know what I mean? So now we'll talk about the head highs. But yeah, with the head highs, even... look, even if I'm fully on board with Vlandy's idea and direction.
Yeah.
I'm fully on board with it.
I'm on board as well.
But how can you possibly halfway through the year come in and enforce these rules? Put it this way: if let's say I'm the boss of my staff, and we've been doing something for 20 years. I've used this analogy before. We've been doing something for 20 years. I just walk in one day and just go, "We're changing the way we do this specific thing." And if you don't get in line, you're going to get sent home or fired or whatever.
Yep.
You would be like, you're a bad boss. You've literally come in, made this huge sweeping change and given us no tools to change with you. It's crazy.
Peter V'landys or any of the commission even played the game?
I think some of the commission have. I think, is it Wayne Pearce in the commission? But that's the thing. It's I think the players. That's the issue. Is that there's some people coming out and saying, "Oh, you know, we praise V'landys' action." How can you possibly say this has been well handled?
The product of our game since Magic Round, when it caught my attention, the brand is, and I am all for protecting the player.
Yeah.
Don't get that twisted. But what I've seen, especially last night, seen over the Magic weekend, is that they didn't expect there to be so many variables in a game of rugby league.
Yeah.
They just said it's black and white.
Yep.
Contact with their head, 10 in the bin, send off.
Yep.
It's not that black and white.
It's not.
There are
Context
so
matters.
many variables involved. Now, I don't want to get players to get hit around the head. And I watched 3 different... Actually, we'll wait till halftime. We'll talk about that part, but...
Only Wayne Pearce.
There you go.
And he's probably getting overruled.
But basically, what Peter V'landys has done is he's got to stick to his guns now. Who's going to be accountable for this when in the coming weeks if we start losing... Well, look, you're not going to lose people watching. That's just a load of shit. That's just a bit far-fetched.
Yeah.
I'm more intrigued to see if we're killing the game or not. That's what's keeping me watching. As a casual fan, again, I'm watching going, hang on a sec. This isn't the footy I know.
I don't think we're killing the game. It's still going to be great. It's still going to be exciting.
If I saw what I saw last night in an Origin game, I'm not watching.
Yeah.
I am not watching.
Maybe I'm too invested to see that.
I mean,
I'm not a casual fan.
The most of the people are.
Yeah,
most
that's
people
true.
only watch one game.
Yeah, one game a
One
week.
team.
Look, I just think that.
The game of rugby league is for the fans, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I agree. And look, that's the issue is I am on board with the change in the sense of like, let's protect the head,
Yes.
no hits to the head.
Absolutely for
But
it.
they should have given players a chance to work on their tackling tech all preseason, so they can still whack blokes, but the target area is lower. That would change. That we could still see the aggression.
Again, this is the
Oh.
thing. Oh my God, Latrell.
Oh my God!
Get off me.
Wow.
But again, the majority of players that are actually getting taken off with HIAs are the persons making the tackle,
Going low. Yeah.
going low.
Yeah, I know.
So we start penalising players for running too hard.
I know,
Like,
it's-
this is the insanity, right? So this brings me to Ricky Shaw's comments where everyone attacked him. This isn't a game for everyone. It's not.
Yeah, no, it's
Simple as that. It's a combat sport. People's heads.
Oh, that's a fucking back roll that he just
That's
did
a
that
GI.
to.
That's the GI in him. Ugh.
That's a fullback doing that to a back rower. Holy shit. This Penrith, it's 28-0. It's an absolute shellacking.
I forgot we're even watching it.
Yeah, honestly.
It's just the wheels.
Sonny Ellis, he says, how come Union has such good technique to avoid headshots? The reason why Union has it, because they're already running low. There's no worry of an offload usually in Union. You run completely differently in league, and plus, usually the outside backs in Union, there's more space to move. League is completely different. You're offloading, you're stepping, it's stop-start, there's line speed. It's just a different thing.
I grew up playing rugby union, and it was a totally different mindset of defending than league. So league, you came through, and then when we man sauce.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. Being up flat. If you're up flat, you get the
Put
ball.
himself in the picture.
Wingers,
They're not home, Penny Panthers.
Wingers' feelings matter.
Wingers matter.
Wingers matter. I'm sick of it.
Let in 3, score 1. You had a great game.
Look at this. That's
Look,
just
flat.
slick.
He's up flat.
He
Doesn't make the same mistake twice, basically.
No, absolutely. What's good though is that's just pure high-end execution because they had the numbers, they had everything. But if you're hitting the ball at speed
Cody,
and being up flat,
Trell.
look at that, beautiful. They had the numbers, but because he hit the ball at speed and was up flat, he beat To'o and he couldn't turn quickly enough. Good turnaround.
It was kind of that fan shape you used to practice, wasn't it? Wasn't it called fan shape?
Where you'd be in front of your centre.
So you'd fan out together as the ball came out the back.
Yep.
But then you'd end up flat with the ball as it came to your hands.
Yep. Like, some people, anyway.
We haven't finished what we're saying.
Yeah, Jace Asher, well, who wants to see halves get pumped or just high tackles in general? No one wants to see that. But we have to give us an opportunity to adjust our tackling technique.
I don't think, yeah.
You know what I mean? Give us an opportunity to train for at least 12 weeks of like, okay, we have to find a different way of hitting. We have to hit just lower. We just have to hit lower. But that takes time to get that habit out of your system when you've been doing it for 20 years.
So the two best teams in the competition right now, I don't think they've had any sin bins for high tackles.
Yep.
Right? So they've clearly adapted over the last 3 weeks. Well, so obviously they're doing something right. So that's in defence of Peter V'landys. But
I'm a fan of 90% of what Peter V'landys does. I think it's been fantastic. But no one can convince me this has been implemented correctly. I have my own company. If I would never implement such huge changes without giving my staff the tools to change with it. This has not been implemented correctly.
No, it hasn't.
It should have been implemented at the start of the season, and to expect these mass changes,
right before Origin.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I agree that we should implement it, but it has been implemented incorrectly. Yeah,
you're right.
It's just.
And what do people got to understand, right? So with the evidence of CTE, it's not only contact with the head that causes
as well.
That causes CTE, right? It's the continual impact over and over again, hundreds, thousands of tackles over years and years and years that can cause CTE.
Yep.
And it's not just contact with the head. We don't want contact with the head. But there's more that comes with it with CTE. That's why our game is not for everyone.
Yeah.
And this is what I fear. Like long term, I'm talking 50 plus years down the track, with all the evidence that comes out, with all the potential suings or lawsuits or whatever, there might not be any contact sport in this world.
Yeah, which I to be honest,
I honestly believe that.
if you're an ex-player and we knew what we were getting into.
We knew what we were getting into.
So I personally will never agree. Like, the only way I would agree is if there was evidence that a club or the NRL had intentionally withheld information that could make that would help my decision. Do you know what I'm saying? They give us all the information.
They do.
They have whatever information they have, they give it. And the reason why the NFL case, because that's what they're scared of, is because they knew about the concussion. Have you seen the movie Concussion?
They did, yeah.
And they didn't disclose it because they were scared it would hurt the product.
Yes.
That's where the issue is. Whereas if you are, as a young kid now, coming into grade or even current footy player, you are 100% aware.
You're informed
of it. It's like me getting a tattoo and then suing the tattoo artist 20 years later. Do you know what I mean?
I should have sued plenty of my tattoos.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Honestly.
Yeah. Look.
No, and okay, and then the argument that the head knocks will turn people away. MMA is one of the fastest growing sports in the world. Yeah, so there's no logic there in my opinion. And also the last stats I read from the NRL was participation was up.
Right.
That's what I read. Have you read that, Matt?
Yeah, there was another one that came out yesterday. I think 6 years ago. They're down 6 years ago. That really came out yesterday.
They're down now and 6 years ago. Yeah. That's fucking convenient, isn't it? So when they want good PR at the end of the year, it's up. But now apparently it comes out today, it's down.
It's down.
That just showed, like, it was literally, can you Google that for us? Participation up, but not the recent one. Like, it's so gross what they're doing. That's gross. Intentionally manipulating numbers to push their agenda.
It's definitely, I mean, as humans, we have a thirst for combat.
Yeah.
Right? So everyone gets fired up saying, oh, the game's getting too soft. It's incorrect. I mean, like, I saw 3 different sin binnings. Where are you going, mate? Who do I want to speak to here?
No. Keep going. I'm listening.
So there was 3 different sin binnings that I sort of flicked over. So I saw the Sharks one on YouTube. And I think the kid on that winger that chased down the Dragons, he had ample opportunity to change his tackling technique.
Absolutely.
He got up close enough. He could have hit him around the waist, got the same outcome.
Yep.
Ball pops out.
Totally agree. That's
right?
10.
He gets hit. What does he hit him around the ball? Comes up around the chin.
Yep.
I thought, after everything you've seen, you could have changed. You could have made a split.
I'm okay with that
decision. I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Now I'll watch the Titans Dogs. I don't know the context of the game. I don't know the narrative of the game whatsoever.
Yep.
I watch a YouTube clip that goes for 3 minutes. Dylan Napper clips that Wallace kid across the chops.
Yep.
Goes down, he looks up at him and then starts holding his face.
Yep.
Milks a penalty. Napper goes off.
Yeah.
Scores the next set.
Yeah.
I'm fully against that. That's for me. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But for me, that is manipulating the rules.
Yeah.
Right? I'm off that. That is like, I got hit across the face. There's an opportunity to get a penalty here. He's probably going to get a 10.
Well, it's like the clutch shit.
That's what I saw. In my opinion, like that Wallace, I don't know him. I don't even know Napper.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I'd be going, that's fucked.
Oh, I mean,
that's how I saw it. And then the Radley in situations, I thought the first one was incorrect. The second one was correct.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's so many variables within that sort of situation. I mean, what if we start? I wouldn't want. I'd have so much respect for a player that gets hit high. He watches a ref call a player out that just goes straight over to him and says, that was fucking accidental.
Yeah.
I am sweet.
Yep.
Do not send this fucking player off and ruin the game.
So while he did it yesterday, he got straight up and he just went straight to his centre position.
Albert Kelly went straight back to after he got hit.
Yeah.
Got up, nothing. They go replay it 4 plays earlier.
It's crazy.
Forceful contact, he gets 10 in the bin.
Yeah.
But imagine the players started standing up and going, nah, You got to ruin the product of this fucking game. Don't send this bloke off. This game's a fucking tight game. We don't want the advantage. We don't want it.
Yeah.
Don't put this bloke in the bin. I'm sweet. It was an accident.
Mate, you know what? The problem is the cat's out of the bag. There's nothing they can do now.
How do you reel it back? Volandes isn't in a situation where he's backed himself into a corner. He cannot renege on this decision.
Yeah.
You cannot say
It's like fights and shoulder charges. You can never bring that back. It's gone.
it's gone.
Yeah.
Anything that's to do with the head, it's just the timing of it all. But like, it's just like, fuck. Is this game dying? Are we losing the game?
Look, I think that...
No. Oh,
Okay, so what's the article say? And when was it released?
So one article in just before COVID. Oh, wait, that's before COVID. Sorry.
It's what?
it's just before he's still researching. But I'm worried about Origin and then the grand final because you've got to be consistent. And when has the referees ever been consistent in an Origin? They put their whistle away.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this play the balls get a bit quicker.
Yeah.
Or slower, or whatever it is. The whistle goes. That was like the narrative, or that was sort of the running joke. Is Origin, the whistle goes away.
Yeah.
Now what do they do this Origin?
I mean, they just back themselves in a corner. Like, and again, I think most reasonable fans. Obviously, you're gonna have some people like, oh, soft this, soft that, which is nonsense. Footy players aren't soft.
No.
If they had have gone out and they at the preseason, trained them the whole preseason, and said, guys, we're letting you know if you fucking hit the head. Obviously, the accidental stuff that should never be 10 in the bin. That's just outrageous, regardless. But
it's always accidental.
Yeah, but the real the little tap, like the Wallace situation, or the slap one from Lodge or whatever.
Face.
That was crazy. I think most fans, if the NRL said, look, we've trained these guys for the whole preseason, they've come out and done it anyway. Yeah. There's nothing we can do about it. We gave them an opportunity to change and they're just refusing. I think most fans would be like, well, fuck, if you've gave them a whole preseason and they're refusing, that's on them.
Yeah.
So I just, yeah.
It's
again, to be real clear, I agree with the changes.
Absolutely.
I don't want anyone to get hit in the head.
No.
But just give us a chance as players and the game to adjust to it.
So how do you tell someone like Victor Radley?
Just change his technique. You've got to go low.
Go low, but like control your aggression as well.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy, last night watching Victor Radley, that was the first time I've ever felt like I was watching an 80s game of rugby league. He went insane, and I loved it.
This is that thirst that we have as humans for combat within a controlled environment. I mean, it's been...
He exploded.
I was just like, fuck, I love this kid.
Oh, mate.
I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I've never met him. I fucking love him.
So, Matty's up here?
This is 3 weeks ago. This is just in New South Wales. They're saying, they released a statement saying they're up 6% on last year and up 17% overall. Whereas yesterday, apparently in the same New South Wales poll, they're down 3.5%.
Yeah, exactly.
in the last 6 years.
Is this been identified and someone's actually call him out?
No, I've identified it. I read the
You've
article.
identified
I
it.
read the article.
Right.
So I knew that they'd released
Is
an
this
article.
a scoop? Am I part of a scoop?
No, when they release this shit, like, it's all to manipulate the narrative.
It's always.
It was
that's
6 weeks ago.
Media in general, yeah.
6 weeks ago, they were saying participation's up. How great's the game? We're getting all these people together, and now all of a sudden, the participation's down. Makes no sense. And also, they compared it to 6 years ago. So what they've done is they've probably picked a peak year and gone, where can we find a way to make the numbers suit our narrative?
Yeah.
And they've done exactly that. Just like the one before, if participation is down, then okay, sweet. That's a fair argument. You can use that as a reason to maybe crack down on the head knocks. But don't come out 4 weeks ago saying how great the participation is and it's up, and then 3 weeks later come out and say, oh, no, it's down actually.
So
Crazy.
do you think, honestly, that a parent sitting at home is saying, well, the NRL's cracking down. From what I've seen, there is far less accidents and far less head knocks. I'm going to let my son play.
Yeah.
Little Jimmy's going to play on the weekend because I feel like the game's getting safer.
No.
What a load of shit.
I don't know.
It's a brutal game.
No.
Accidents happen.
The only thing that makes sense to me is the lawsuit thing. As in they're so worried about a lawsuit that could crush the game. That's why they've gone so hard about it.
The teams that are, and it's true, actually, I don't feel like it. the teams that are under the most amount of pressure are the ones causing or having the most sin bins.
Yeah.
So obviously Penrith, Melbourne, how many sin bins have they had?
Yeah, they're just so
None.
disciplined and
They're disciplined.
Well, they're not
because
desperate
winning.
to
They're not
yeah,
desperate.
they're not desperate.
So
Yep.
you've got the lower tier teams that are desperate, that are trying to, that are frustrated, that
Yeah.
are bringing this out. They probably could change their technique. The ones that are coming off the ball and hitting them in the head, I'm like, you go, that's accidental, but it's still a hit in the head.
Yeah.
But the blatant ones, I mean, Herman SSE, like run shooting.
Yeah, 100%. Even
send
Papali,
offs.
send it off. Like again, that's the thing that I've struggled with is people try to conflate that with the accidental ones. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. Like if it's I'm okay with Radley 10 in the bin for that second one.
The second one,
like
I'm
I'm
fine
okay
with
with that
Not the
because you can
first one.
tell that he came with intent and it didn't come off. The play didn't come off. The issue is lumping them in with a little slap in the face.
You don't want to
or-
lose aggression out of the game.
No, you don't
And
want to
that's
lose
what
aggression.
Pete puts bums on seats. You want to see controlled aggression within an environment
Yeah.
that's almost, you want it to be a little bit lawless as well, but you want player protection. Like, what kind of brand are we trying to build here? What's the
Yeah.
brand of football we're trying to bring?
Yeah. We want, like, in one sentence, they say we're in the entertainment industry, and now all of a sudden, and it's
we're
like, well,
protecting the players.
Yeah, it's like, well, hang
but
on a
we're
sec.
still entertaining.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't entertained. I was actually went to bed with the shits last night.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're two teams I don't support.
Yeah, it's the whole thing was bizarre. And also what's crazy is like it was such a fun game to watch in the sense that the passion was there. That was
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I was pissed off because the game's changing, or I was more excited to see where the game was going. Does that make sense?
yeah, I know what you mean.
Like I'm thinking, I want to see the game go in a different direction, but this is going to kill the game.
Yeah, well, just it's going to hurt it a lot in the short term.
Yeah,
but
well-
anyway, that's our thoughts on the bloody head knocks. It's torture.
It's going to keep going, bro.
Mate, it's gonna go.
just
Origin's gonna- Origin-
Someone's going off.
I reckon
Someone's going off.
multiple people are going off.
So we're going to have 3-on-3.
There's going to be riots. It's going to be 3-on-3 footy. It's going to be bloody Ponga versus Tedesco, one-on-one. One-on-one on the footy field.
Back a stadium just to watch that.
Mate, one-on-one Tedesco
There you
versus
go,
Ponga.
boys. 12 years off.
No, it's going to be Tom Trbojevic versus 13 blokes. And we'll probably still win. He's fucking...
But it's the whole stop-start as well.
Yeah.
Going back, you know what the confusing one was for me is when Radley, the third one, when he came over and belted Xavier Coates, and they were that's confused about what he did wrong.
Yeah, they were looking for it.
Hang on, so he's offside.
He hit him hard.
He hit him hard.
Mate.
Oh, but then he came in and sort of clipped him on the chin, so it was eye contact.
But
that was confusing.
That was a joke.
That was
was
confusing.
if
It
you're
was offside at worst.
yeah, at worst.
At worst, offside.
If you're pinging that as contact to the head, you're pinging every tackle.
Every tackle.
Because you always get your head moved around.
That's the thing.
It's crazy.
There's a confusion. And they were confused. You could see that, with whoever's in the fucking box, the bunker and the coach.
They were looking for a reason. They
referees
were like, that
were
was too
going,
hard.
hang on.
He hit him too hard. We need to find something.
Radley's lost control.
He's exploded. He's going to kill a guy. Yeah.
That's sort of what it paints.
But that was- yeah,
That's just too
100%.
much aggression in this game.
100%.
Boys, fuck
That
it.
was a good example of like they were scared of the aggression. Like,
Oh, fuck. We're going to do something.
fuck, he just got shotted. Stop it. Stop it.
That's way too hard. Get him off.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Anyway, it sucks. Nothing we do about it. I'm going to continue watching because I'm a diehard. But hopefully, at least next season, they give the players like proper guidance and tools to change their
Get
technique.
through this season first.
Yeah, I know.
What round is it? We're not even into Origin yet, and the game's a mess.
Mate, people are gonna riot when
So
blokes
you
get
think
something
everyone
on.
sort of pumped Peter V'landys up about so much that his ego's too big, he's turned into the next Greenberg, and now he's just ruined our game.
But Greenberg wouldn't do this because he wasn't about change.
He was a middleman. He was just like
he was just keeping
he was-
people happy, which is sometimes it's good. He actually, he did a lot better than people realise. He didn't make sweeping changes, but they had like a profit of like 56
Well,
million or
maybe
some shit like that.
His ego's gotten to be big. Old Pete V.
Well, he actually, anyway, we've got to stop talking about the head knocks. We've got to stop talking about the head knocks.
Let's talk about it.
Did you watch Reece Walsh at all the other night?
I did. I watched clips. Looked outstanding. I did watch bits of the game.
Yeah, mate. Wow.
Give me some background here. Was he in the Bronco system?
He was in the Broncos.
Yep.
Okay, so he's in the Broncos, and I said at the start of the year that
Who's the kid that said that his favourite podcast was Bloke?
Lukey. So Hillam
Who's he play
Lukey.
for?
He's at the Cowboys.
Yeah, right. Sorry to interrupt there, but
which was cool to
that's pretty
see.
Cool, yeah.
But yeah, so Reece Walsh grew up loving the Broncos. He's from the Gold Coast. He's never lived in New Zealand. He has Kiwi heritage though. Anyway, so we've had no fullback for years now. Like Darius Boyd towards the end of his career.
This is like, I've got to stick up for the Broncos here. Go on, though.
You don't agree?
Oh, look,
We have no specialist fullback.
It's just, it's timing for these kids. Like, if they're in an environment and they're not producing, the Broncos have obviously had a lot of time. I mean this with all due respect. All due respect. And I'm not having a stab at an 18-year-old halfback.
Yeah.
But I saw signs of why Brisbane let him go. I saw signs of it.
As
Does
in
that make sense?
Reece Walsh?
I'm talking about Sam Walker.
Oh, Sam Walker.
Right? So I saw a little bit of, oh shit, I'm with the big boys here. I'm trying to pass out of my... And I'm not having a stab at him.
Yeah.
But he's an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
But maybe he was doing that in the Broncos system far too much for them to go, look, we see the talent, but he's not for us, so we're going to let him go. So when this kid comes through, so obviously the Broncos have made a meal of it, losing two players that are going really fucking good now.
But Sam Walker was
were they doing that good in the Broncos system?
Yeah, they were both playing for their state and country.
Right, okay, well there you go. You just killed that fucking narrative, haven't you?
Mate, Sam Walker was one of the best talents to come through footy since Ponga.
I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah, no, so that's the thing. That's what's like. I watched a Reece Walsh's highlights 2 years ago, and I specifically said on the highlights, this can be Darius Boyd's long-term replacement. What I'm not understanding is I think Jermaine Asako is a fantastic winger, a really good winger. What I'm not getting is, even if, look, we were already wooden spoon last year. So why not just go, look, re-sign with us and we guarantee you'll start the season at number one.
When did he leave? How far into this?
Halfway, like
so Kevy's
4 or 5 weeks ago. Kevy's decision.
There's something that we don't know.
Mate, I don't think so. I think it was an oversight. I think it was Kevy, used to, he only knows the Broncos from when he was there, but he may not really know that we need to make risky decisions to get back on top. Whereas the Broncos of yesteryear would have been like, of course you're staying. It's the Broncos and you're a gun and we're the Broncos. To think, like, if we had a solid fullback that had played fullback a couple of years and was a long-term prospect, I could understand it. What I'm not understanding is we haven't had a solid a full-time specialist fullback in years, and that's a key position in rugby league today. Right. So why don't look, if he got offered a Mozart, like what's crazy is the Warriors offered him a Mozart, which is let's say it's $400,000 a year for 3 years or whatever. Let's just say it's that. That's unders for a fullback now. So he's actually on unders now. So I just think the Broncos should have taken the risk. They should have said, look, here's a $250,000, $300K contract, so not as much as the Warriors, but you will start the season and we'll give you a crack at it.
And then given permission for Asako to negotiate.
No, they've come out and said that
was all bullshit.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, right.
So what I'm not understanding is if he comes in and plays first grade and struggles, then you go, see, we told you weren't ready for first grade. You put him back in reserve grade, plays kick up. We just didn't. There was not a single player other than Haas and maybe Katoni Staggs out of that last year 17 that had this, or Paddy Carrigan as well, that had a 17 spot locked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you should be willing to risk, upsetting a guy that's been playing for a bit to keep a guy like Reece Walsh, in my opinion.
Yes.
Anyway, is what it is.
Well, that's a good bit of background for me. I didn't know they were like both these pedigrees coming through.
Both incredible. Especially Sam Walker. Sam Walker coming through was like, incredible.
You can't blame Tavita for picking on him last night.
No, it's footy.
That is your job as a back 100%
it's footy.
To go and hunt.
I don't even blame Broncos for losing Sam Walker because that was like when he was 15 or 16.
Yeah.
It's like that's whereas Reece Walsh was in their first grade squad.
Yeah, right.
It's a very different discussion.
Okay.
And also, the Roosters had just won back to back. Whereas the Broncos were a schmozzle under Seabold. Like it was,
just hold on to whatever kids are. You identify pretty early what kids you're going to hold on to.
Also, what position are they? You know what I mean? Are they a key position?
Yep.
We need to keep him. Are they not a key position? Then, okay, we can lose that.
We can lose that, yeah.
But anyway, back to the Penny Panthers versus
30 to 6.
30 to 6. Holy moly.
They're always hard to beat on a Sunday in a day game, Penrith.
Yeah. I always, I loved his day games at Suncorp.
Oh, how good. Any game at Suncorp, really, but day games are good.
Day games are fucking just so sick, man. Warm weather. Reynolds to Broncos is a great signing. That's their first big win, in my opinion. I hope they sign Dane Gagai and Kurt Catewell and Nico Hines. That would be...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that would be so good.
That's a top 4 team straight away.
Mate, if that, they're a top 8 side, in my opinion.
Yeah.
With Reynolds, Nico Hines...
I don't know about Katoni at 6. No way. You don't
Well,
put
I
a
want to see him
strike
play.
centre in a 6 jersey. No
Well, I
way.
just want to see him get some footy under his belt.
Yeah. Look, I love that kid. You don't put a 6 on a strike centre to make him make decisions. You give him early ball.
Wow. So Nigel is saying they wanted Sam Walker to play fullback at the Broncos. That was Anthony Seibold.
Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
Okay.
Anyway, is what it is. On to this game. Oh, is that a knock on?
Cookie. You gave yourself up. Latrell, just keep playing.
What about Latrell just doing that fucking bend? So disrespectful. I mean, the Penny Panthers are just... They're on a
bit rogue, haven't we? Let's go back to the...
Yeah, let's go back to this game.
Oh, that could have cost you your origin spot bringing up here.
I think if the Broncos can get Nico Hines at about 400K, 300 to 400, they should do it. At fullback. Put him at fullback.
Who's got money? Who's got money?
As a club?
Yeah.
I think Dragon's got a bit of money. So I think they're...
So then you're kind of competing with... Like, if you can offer 300-400, then you got a club like Dragons that are desperate, or say Dogs that go, we've got 600. You know what I mean? The merry-go-round starts again.
Mate, the Dogs should not sign another outside back for 6 years. Honestly. They need fucking forwards and a 9, desperately.
Look, they need a 9. Look, I don't know why they thought Nick Kotrick was a centre.
Well, he wanted to play centre. And he's only 21 still, so like...
I think he's a great winger.
He's a great winger. Origin winger.
winger.
He's an origin winger. Yeah.
Everyone wants that Larry 3 or 4, don't they? But not everyone's built for it.
Mate, winger...
Like could you imagine the Mansource playing in the centres?
Oh,
no,
mate.
you're a winger. Identify that you're a 2 or a 5.
We're sick of being disregarded. We're sick. Look at how fucking strong Latrell is. Latrell's been easily Rabbitohs' best.
And how old would Latrell be?
And Cody probably. And Latrell's 23.
23 and he's already dominating men.
Two premierships, Dally M Centre, 2 top point scorers. Incredible. Man, Walker is so silky, man.
I love this kid too, Campbell Graham.
Yes, he is underrated. He's probably the most underrated centre in the comp.
He'd be in the Origin squad for sure.
Did he get? He was in talks last year for Origin squad.
Yeah, I think he's an Origin.
He's
player.
so underrated. Like, he doesn't get talked about in the same breath as like a Crichton or as a Lomax.
He was playing first grade while he was in high school. He was doing his HSC as well.
Yeah. He's just a quiet achiever. Constantly. Oh wow. They've got to put on some points very quickly. But I mean, for them to win this game, I would small chance. Alan Davis, Rennie, did you ever consider playing union professionally?
Yeah, I did actually. It was kind of that 16, 17-year-old. Oh, actually, yeah. I played, I think, 1 year at Randwick and then played for New South Wales with Braithen Asser, actually. And
really?
It was definitely...
The man commentating.
With, Morgan Tuanui as well, growing up. So it was definitely a consideration. I played from 5 up until I was 16, 17. I regret it now because they earn way more money and get to travel the world.
Do they earn more money overseas, or is that a bit of a myth?
No, they earn more money playing for the Wallabies. So you get a Waratahs contract, you get a
surely not anymore. Yeah, I know, but surely not anymore. Surely
they earn more money.
Mate, they've barely got a game. Like, the game is on its last breath in Australia. Like,
yeah,
it's not being disrespectful.
I'm talking hindsight, and financially, I could have played a bit longer. My body wouldn't be as sore. No disrespect to rugby, but
no. I think I think league is better when union is good because they kind of like compete against each other. You know what I mean?
I think I'm just sour that I haven't seen us win a Bledisloe for
Oh, man.
since John Eales kicked that goal.
Someone brought up a good point. I think it was the Hello Sport Boys. They said, imagine if so you know how New Zealand All Blacks get all the best Kiwis to play for the All Blacks.
Yep.
Imagine if Union Wallabies had all the best leagueies playing for the Wallabies, like a Thurston, the Cameron Smiths, your Greg Inglis, your Izzo Folau's.
I've thought about this.
I actually think we would be right up there with the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Think about all the best leagueies that have come through that would be let's say that Union was our number one sport and league was just like tiny compared to Union.
Yeah.
You'd have like guys like Hayne in his heyday, Benny Barber.
The hybrid game. Remember they sort of floated that idea?
Yeah.
The hybrid game?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Never
someone
would.
like Rocky Elsom, right? He captained the Wallabies. He's just built for Union, like a big guy, but he couldn't make our Bulldog side. You know, like some players are just built differently for different games.
Yeah, that's true.
But in his book, he actually said that he got his mental toughness, or I'm like paraphrasing,
Yeah.
from the Bulldogs culture.
Yeah, league's tougher than Union in my opinion.
Well, we had the Waratahs. We used to have the Waratahs come train with us, and they were nowhere near us. Like a few of the
Just
top
getting bashed.
guys on the
Yeah,
backs, the outside backs, but in terms of fitness, what was his name? Matt Dunning? Remember Matt Dunning? Chumpy.
Yeah.
He was
Gassed.
20 minutes. He's gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Lavishka 82, TPJ, Lodge and Haas were super aggressive last night. It's possible to be aggressive legally. Lavishka, the only problem with that is Lodge got sent to the bin for 10.
He did.
So,
They had to stand up to that Roosters pack. And they see how they got Jared off their game as well. Sorry to talk about that game again, but
mate,
they were super aggressive.
What's crazy, what I loved about that game, and I'll speak about this in a podcast tomorrow, is that Broncos looked like the experienced veterans that didn't get emotional, and it was actually the Roosters that looked like they were getting a bit emotional.
It was the frustration.
But I also think the Jake Friend thing didn't help them. They were so emotionally invested into playing well for Jake Friend because it was his swan song. See you later,
Who did Jake Friend's tie? Did you notice that?
his tie. No, I didn't notice that. was it bad?
Hanging 10 centimetres off his neck.
Yeah, so I just think they were too up for this. Sometimes you can get too up for the game.
Yeah.
For example, perfect example, last year grand final, Penrith Panthers versus Storm. If you watch the Penrith Panthers run out, they are fucking just buzzing. They are jumping around and ready to kill someone. Then you watch Cameron Smith-led Storm run out. They honestly looked nervous, they looked scared, but it wasn't that. It was a calm business-like experience.
We're here to do business.
Exactly, and they did the fucking business.
We're here to make a transaction and move on.
Is there a coach that can pull the Dragons out of mediocrity? I think the Dragons are actually going fucking great this year. They were wooden spoon favourites for most people. They're currently sitting 6th or 7th, maybe 8th. They had a lot of players out the other night.
I didn't see the game.
They had a lot of players out. So who they have out? They've got 12 of their starters out or something like that.
12?
Yeah, it was crazy number. 12 or 13 of their starters out or available players. I actually think the Dragons are in a really strong position to recruit and go further. They would have gotten Andrew McCulloch at a cheaper rate with the Broncos paying half his contract. So they're probably paying him $200-300K max. Corey Norman will take a pay cut to stay if he stays. Their fullback Dufty hasn't re-signed yet, so they could maybe re-sign him for less. They may re-sign Nico Hines, which is also less. All their key positions.
Re-sign?
They may sign Nico Hines.
Yeah.
They've got key positions that are going to be on unders, massive unders, that could take them into the top 8. They're already sitting there.
You know who I've kind of watched the highlights anyway? Newcastle are diabolical.
Wow. I feel sorry for Newcastle. They are not even close to the team they were last year. And I know they're missing a lot of players, though.
Yeah, but some of the fundamental errors are there. Oh, my God.
Oh, Mike, he's had an absolute Barry Crocker.
Oh, Bert.
He's about to score his 7th try.
Oh, my
Bert scored a hat-trick! And reneged on his Bulldogs deal.
Where's all the South jerseys in the picture? They just haven't
Mate,
turned up
you have to try to catch that. You cannot...
The red and green have not turned up.
Mate, you cannot as a winger let that bounce. Even if you drop it, you got to go for it.
Who was it? Mansauce?
Mansauce.
I always, throughout his whole career, I don't think I've ever felt comfortable with
under the high ball. Mate, you've got to play at that.
No.
You've got to play at that.
Joshua.
he's another example of, like, I'm sure he's quite emotional with everything that happened with him leaving Penrith. You know what I mean? So he might be a little bit rattled from the whole the event of it.
It's the sun. Look, he's
Oh, mate. Oh, no. Fuck. Poor
He's
bloke.
made a meal of it.
Mate, if Souths get another 50 put on them, you can almost guarantee they're not going to win the comp.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You cannot,
just think it's-
surely not.
It's just Melbourne and Penrith. For me,
It's Melbourne and Penrith. And
It's
maybe
Melbourne.
Eels. Eels are a sneaky one for me. It depends how they go against Manly. You know who's a massive
feel
dark horse is Manly. Dark horse.
dark ass.
Dark ass. They got a great dark ass. Manly's got a great dark ass. They got a great dark ass.
Don't say Manly's a fucking dark horse.
They're a dark
Don't
ass.
you dare say
Mate,
they're
they
a
got
dark horse.
Schuster's got a dark ass.
Moses dark.
Dark ass. I've seen their asses. Dark as anything. Cherry Evans, shockingly dark. You would think it was quite bright.
Pale, like see-through.
Yeah, you would think it was quite pale, but it's actually a dark ass. He's got no tan lines. It actually goes dark straight under his fingers. Yeah, could you imagine if they get 50 put on them twice and they win the premiership? Absolutely. If there is any team that can get 50 put on them and win the premiership, I think it is actually the Rabbitohs because they're so fucking up and down.
Missing.
No, I'm backing him in here. Oh, who's missing for Cam Murray, which is a huge out.
You can't rely. You can't have. Like it
Look
just
at
seems-
that.
Yeah.
Nathan Cleary. Wow.
Look, I want to see if their depth is going to be tested, Penrith. You know, like you've got a healthy side.
Mate,
You've got a
yeah.
very healthy side, and for 2 years, and that goes a long way.
Well, they're
Obviously-
missing their key fullback and they're also missing their starting front row, Moses Leota. So they are missing, you know.
Come on, I'm talking about a Munster missing, a
so you're
Hughes missing, so Cleary out, Jerome Luai, Fisher, Harris.
But they didn't play a full strength Raiders side either. They were missing Papali, Whiten, and Hodgson. Oh yeah, and Hodgson.
So there's three. How many Melbourne players are missing?
Grant, Hughes.
Grant, Hughes.
Yeah, but that's equal.
Munster.
But that's equal though.
No, who else? There was more.
Papali, Whiten, and Hodgson were the main ones that I can think. Oh, and Croker. So that's four key position senior players. Then the other side had Munster, Pappenhuisen, Grant, and Kenny Bromwich. And Hughes. So that's five. So 5 versus 4.
Chalk and cheese, bro.
Oh, high tackle. Let's have a look at this one. Don't worry, guys. We're not going to get into that again. He's like, what? Are you sure? It almost gets to the point where Fox League won't even show the replay like is happening right now. That pisses me off. Show the replay. Oh, my God.
It's too much.
Mate, that's a joke. That is a joke. How are you supposed to wrap the ball up? Do you know what I mean? If you're constantly going low... Anyway, fuck. It's just
You know what? They haven't replayed it 28 times. You know, the referees aren't confused. They've blown a penalty, you move on. You know, it's like, all right, sweet.
Well, sir, he's honestly smoky for me on the New South Wales bench because he's so impactful. Spencer Leno, I really rate him. Like, obviously, he's probably not going to make the New South Wales side, but I think in the next few years he could be a good bench player. Thoughts on the Cowboys? I said at the start of the year, I thought Cowboys were a dark horse to be in the 8 and one of the teams that could most surprise people. And then they came out and played like an absolute busted. Here we go. Oh, Gago. Oh no, it's game. It's called back. With the Cowboys, I actually said that they were the biggest dark horses to surprise people. Then they came out and played shocking, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe how wrong they got. But my reason was I thought Todd Payton was a really good coach. What he'd done with the Warriors, he'll be able to do with the Cowboys. And now I reckon they'll make the top 8, the Cowboys.
I haven't really paid much attention to the Cowboys, but that Drinkwater seems to be doing quite well.
He's a gun.
Yeah.
Just if he gets rid of the errors in his game, absolute gun. And he seems to be slowly maturing. And
They just signed Townsend?
just signed Townsend and Dearden. But a lot of people are like, oh, where does Scott Drinkwater fit in that? I think Dearden will still be on the bench or fringe. And they'll build Townsend and Drinkwater. Townsend will mentor Dearden, and then Dearden comes in. That's their long term.
Yeah, fair
6
enough.
and 7.
Fair enough.
Which is quite smart in my opinion.
Yep.
You know, because
So who
Townsend,
replaces Townsend at Sharks?
no one at the moment. It's only Matty Moylan and
Right, and Sean
Johnson. I can't believe I forgot that. Which is, you know, Sharks have been mismanaged into a shocking position. because they got rid of Townsend thinking they were going to get Reynolds, I think.
Yeah.
There's no reason you get rid of Townsend if you don't think you're getting Reynolds. So at the moment, they're sitting there with Matt Moylan and Townsend, two players they have told that if you want to stay here, we're halving your contract and you're only getting a 1-year deal. You know what I mean? So like openly saying basically that we don't want you. You know what I mean? It's crazy. That's crazy. And I've got to reload this for some reason. I think. Matt, can you come sort this out, please?
It seems like they were kind of mismanaged from a player standpoint, and obviously what happened with the coach, I guess. And I'm just reading externally what I've read or heard about John Morris. So I mean,
the whole thing is a
don't let
disaster.
Craig Fitzgibbon go as well, though. I mean, I understand that situation, but again, I don't know enough about it.
As in, Roosters shouldn't let Craig go.
If you've got someone like Craig Fitzgibbon waiting there, and we need a head coach, how do you handle that? You go, well, is Fitzy? At least give John Morris to the end of the year.
Yeah, 100%. That's the issue is with everyone is like, what did John Morris do to get the sack? Like, you know what I mean? John Morris doesn't have to be in the recruitment meetings. Fitzgibbon can be for the next year. And so currently they've just like left their players stranded. Like they only just beaten a Golden Point, a Dragon side that had 12 of their...
Oh, my God.
Cleary. Wow. Surely not. Oh, my God. He's too good. He's too hot. He's too big. He's too fast. He's too clinical. The Prince of Penny, baby. Bringing it all day, baby. He is honestly a god out in Penrith.
Fuck.
Your halfback shouldn't be scoring tries like this.
Look, Cook,
And that's
high tackle, Latrell.
Wow. That's the second time he's managed to somehow wrestle his way over.
They're drinking. Look, high tackle.
They're drinking Panthers fucking piss. Panthers piss.
Panthers. Look, he slaps him. Latrell. No, please don't play that. Please
Oh,
don't
people are
keep
going to hate him for
that.
it.
Watch this. So he gets hit high anyway,
Let's see.
and cops a little Latrell slap.
Oh,
no,
that's
no,
nuts.
here. Oh, again.
No, I think he was just trying to... That was in slow mo. He was trying to grab the ball. Yeah.
he was.
Mate, just Shoal doesn't need any more bad press. Because people already look for reasons to hate him, even though he's literally done nothing wrong.
I'm looking for reasons to send
the head high.
Head high.
Well, technically that is a head high. I mean, technically that is a head high. If you want to go by those same rules...
Technically, it was a sin bin.
Yeah, send him off. That's, honestly, disgraceful. Cleary's never going to recover from that hit to his head. He's gone. He's gone. His season's gone.
But you look, like I said earlier, if you look at the two best teams, they haven't had any sin bins. I don't think there's been one Penrith sin bin or one Melbourne sin bin.
I'm trying to think.
I don't think there has all year.
I'm trying to think whether Melbourne... Well, it's only the last 2 weeks I've gone hard at it.
The big Fijian front row got done for a slight crusher.
Moses Leota got sent off.
He did he?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm wrong.
Yep, you're wrong.
The People's Beakers back.
Didn't he last week? Got sent off?
Oh, he got sent.
Oh,
yeah.
10? 10 or sent off?
SAS, they got
Okay. So he
That
got
was
10.
2 weeks ago. Magic Round, was it?
Magic Round was last week.
Or Magic Round last week?
Yeah. Nathan Cleary, like, honestly, it's pretty much between him and Tom Trbojevic if they both stay fit to get Dalian, but it's basically Cleary's to win. To lose, sorry.
He's going to win the next 10.
He's on track to break the record. It's a joke. And you know what? Like, I really hope the people 2 years ago that were bagging the fuck out of Cleary, like he's overpaid, he's a bum, get rid of him, this, that, and the next thing. I just hope that they're sitting there going, you know what? I was fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And I should have been patient. He was 21 years old, and he's 21. What do you expect him to be, Joey out the box? Like it's just they give players no time to develop, like literally no time.
I mean, you're going to put him out on the big stage. You're there to have an opinion on or be criticised. I think he was probably prematurely put out on the big stage. But look at the dividends it's paying for now.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like Origin,
100%.
I thought he might have been a little bit too early. Perhaps should have missed out on one of the first ones. I think it was the first year. But with all that adversity and people coming at you, look at the man he's turned into.
Oh, it's crazy.
Man,
Yeah.
a young man.
Still
who's gonna
23.
Be dominant probably for the next 10 years.
It's crazy. I don't mind critique at all.
Yeah.
What I do mind is the Derek's leaving, overpaid bum, get rid of him, this, that. It's
I'm
like,
trying to
mate.
justify my comments about him probably 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Fox. No, I was never that bad, but I've turned him into the player.
No, it was all you.
Critiquing his
No,
game.
there's nothing wrong with critique. That's what you get paid for.
Yes.
If you want to play footy, you're getting critiqued.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's the
But
fucking.
it's I know what you're saying.
Because you don't experience it like I experience. I see all the comments and stuff.
I
So like
know.
literally 2 years ago, there were people like calling him like unbelievably overrated. Like him and his father need to go. He needs to get the set. Like
Yeah, right.
shit chat. Like absolute nonsense chat.
Yeah.
So hopefully he is on the path to go down as one of the greatest ever. I'm not saying he's anywhere near that yet, but when you talk about laying the foundations for that, he has laid the foundation.
He's sound in every aspect of his game.
Every
now.
aspect. He's like the if you put Joey on here on Flashy, Cooper Cronk on Structured, I reckon he's like right in the middle.
Yeah, you're right.
And I just think that they've got
Defensively good. Yeah.
defensively gun, kicking game incredible,
Yep.
Flary, strong ball runner, great ball player, great structure. He's got everything you need as a half.
Take the way that I see it to identify maybe a great half or. Well, if you took him out of the Penrith system now and you put him behind the Brisbane pack, how does Brisbane go?
I think they 100% top 8. That's
Yeah?
how good I think he
Okay.
is. I think you put Cleary in any side,
Any side in the competition.
any side
right
in the
now.
competition in
Yep.
5 years'
I
time, they're
agree.
a finals footy team, and that's the sign of a great half.
Yeah. He can build. He can already see.
Wow,
that's
he's
great.
so
That was
good.
great.
That's great by Cody
You can
Walker.
already see you can build a culture around him.
Absolutely.
At 3?
23 years old.
You can build a club around that.
A whole club.
You know what he like. Other than his poor TikTok video, which was
I thought it was great.
incredibly bad.
I thought it was great.
His dance moves were bad.
Beautiful. move like a white boy, which
Let
is
the Polynesians do the dance moves.
No. Give us a
Cleary.
chance. Give us a chance. We just want to fucking start, mate.
Nah,
Mate, we just want to get and have a bit of
dance
fun.
moves are shocking.
Dancing's
No, I
inside of all of us.
He'll be Australian captain.
Yeah, easy. Fucking oath. I think Cam Murray is a smoky for long-term Australian captain, like, in 5-6 years.
Oh yeah, I'd say Cleary before Cam.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's your long-term Australian captain, New South Wales captain.
Mate, Cody Walker, he just always finds a way. You know what I mean? They're getting pumped and he still finds a way. What's crazy, there's 17 minutes to go. It's 44-10. They could honestly hit 60. Could you imagine 60 points? Daniel Bice, Bronx will suck for another 5 years. I disagree. I actually think we saw the first signs of this. They're the youngest side in the comp. Last night we saw the first signs of that forward pack that we paid so much fucking money for coming together and showing identity. And so I actually think that it's only going to take, we got the Reynolds, it's only going to take 1 or 2 smart buys to really start seeing the dividends of seeing so many young guys. Like I use Paddy Carrigan as a perfect example. Paddy Carrigan will absolutely play Origin and he'll absolutely play for Australia. And he's the kind of guy that although he got made captain too early, I think that he has shown that will pay dividends in 5 to 6 years where he can be a long-term captain. Yeah. Again, I think it was too early and I think it hurt his game a little bit, but I think we'll see. It's like a Cleary situation. I'm not saying he's as good as Cleary, but you saw the year where it hurt him a bit and then boom, he bounces back. I think that's what we're going to see. Yeah, adversity. Mate, 100% critique from Rennie Matua. So say something bad about Paddy Carrigan and he'll turn into the best player in the game. So I think that we're actually going to see the next maybe 2-3 years the dividends of this extremely young Brisbane Broncos side, especially with the signing like Reynolds. And I think that Paddy Carrigan will be the long-term captain of the club, and I think he's going to play for the state and country and be one of the best forwards in the comp. And I know I'm biased as my club.
Yeah, you are. Who wins the next one?
Next Origin.
This.
I think the Eels. Oh man, Manly are going so well. They got great dark asses. But yeah, Kempy. What about
report.
From MH? Kemp. What about Hodgson to Broncos? I think that Hodgson's a fantastic player. The money that I would be interested in what we would be paying him. If we're paying him a big contract, I don't think so. I think Turpin is adequate. Because I think I would rather spend money on a fullback or a 6 than a 9 right now for the Broncos. I think Turpin is absolutely
Fullback,
adequate to deliver to Reynolds. We just need a 6 or a fullback, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, you're going to have to pay big money for someone like Hodgson, especially if he gets matched by a Super League and he's homesick.
Yeah.
Did he say homesick? Was it
Oh,
him
no,
or
that was
Georgie?
George Williams.
Big Jorge.
Oh, he's going to score again. Oh, no.
Just to quickly go back on the Raiders situation, I don't think Canberra's I don't think Sticky's suited to coach anywhere else but Canberra.
Yeah, I know.
So he needs a roster shake-up.
I
Whether
think
he's
he
in
needs...
the wrong or right,
Yeah.
you can't sustain the same roster for Ricky Stewart. He needs to start getting rid of some players to be successful again, to buy into his system.
Mate, it's so hard
Once the rot sets in. Who's going
to want to go to the Raiders, though? It's a tough place to live. Like, it's a very hard place to sign
He
players.
goes back to the north of England and grabs some more players.
Yeah, he just buys a
Another
fucking England
Elliott
side.
Whitehead, another Hodgson. No, Elliott's all right. I think he's fine with the coach. I'm not sure, but once the rot sets in, Kempy.
Oh, no, I agree with you. I think that there needs to be a bridge and they need to meet halfway.
It's a roster change. It's the only way that Ricky stays in Canberra. He has to control.
Who is going to, don't get me wrong, like, my missus is from Canberra, who is no longer with me.
You can't just, it's for the passion of rugby league.
Mate.
Have more belief in these players.
Mate.
They want to live in the nation's capital.
No, they don't. They really don't. It is
Fuck no.
so hard to recruit
Not a
there.
chance.
It's crazy, man. It's
I think
so
I
hard
laughed
to
once
recruit
when
there.
my manager came and said to me that Canberra were interested. I
Mate,
said,
it's tougher than Melbourne because at least Melbourne has like a night, a scene, and
Yeah.
Canberra's a
"We've
tough
got
place.
Parliament."
Yeah, that's great. Fuck hell. Yeah, footy players love that shit. Get in the Parliament House.
Fucking learn about politics. Yeah, look,
Look at this.
I think Brisbane. Look, it's taken them a while. Has anyone got the sack from above board, head office?
No.
Same people running the joint.
Yeah.
Will Wayne go back there? Give me a scoop.
Look, Wayne's a master.
put his hand up,
No,
mate.
he's
He's
a
good at
master at
I'm available. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. But he's not here. You know what I mean?
Wayne?
Yeah, old Wayne. He plays all coy and I don't know what's going on. He's as slimy as not slimy. What's the
You
word?
retract that.
Yeah, I retract
The
that.
word slimy. I don't.
As shrewd of like getting his value, getting a good contract, all that kind of shit. The whole I don't know what's going
Who
on.
isn't? It's a fucking. It's a
business.
Cutthroat,
Yeah.
It's a cutthroat industry, especially
Mate.
in the coaching ranks, man.
Absolutely.
Like you can't. You've got to be careful. You've either got to be a dictator, right, and dictate the fucking what goes on in that club, or you have to suck ass.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what it is. That
Yeah.
is what goes on in the background of rugby league. There's a scoop for you, people. Like you got assistant coach that'll shit on another assistant coach. That you've got and then you've got an insecure head coach who's worried about the assistant coach.
Yeah.
It's a merry-go-round of
Mate.
fucking emotional.
And it's a dog-eat-dog world.
It's
If you're
a
not going to be
bullshit.
if you're not going to be a dog, you're going to get dogged.
Yeah, you got to be a Wayne. You just got
Yeah.
to sit at the top of the pile
Yeah.
and just go, fuck
And
you.
it's
I'll
either
do
my
what
way
I
or
want.
it's my way or the highway. You don't have to
100%.
be a bad person, but you have to be. It's my way or the highway, in my opinion.
That's the same narrative as someone like Des or Ricky or Belly. Like they have their own ways of coaching, but
Yeah.
no one's going to tell them what to fucking
Nah.
do, and that's why they're successful coaches as well.
That's another head high. So I think they're at 6 head highs now for the game.
Accidental. Come
See,
on,
that-
we
that-
said no more.
Yeah, but they keep head on. See, that's another issue. Is like that. Yes,
That was Friday night.
yeah, he's getting sent.
Oh no, it was Saturday night the game, wasn't it? Shit, fuck.
Yeah, look, the problem with someone like that is Burton's low to the ground. It's tough. Anyway, whatever. The Queenslander, why didn't you tackle GI in the 08 semi-final? Maybe because they had like a 2-man overlap and Hodjo went to scream in and then back-pedaled, but I'd already committed to screaming in to follow my centre. That's why. And also, it's Greg Inglis. Like, sorry, bro. 2008. What is that? Fucking 14 years
You
ago?
remembered that? That's pretty fucking.
Well, it's because we lost the prelim semi-final that we should have fucking won. So I hope the sleepless nights you've had, the Queenslander, that's sorted for you, bro. Even though you could have watched the fucking game and seen the outside overlap, even though you could have done that, now you know, bro.
If you don't know.
And Kempy, what happens to Gamble now Reynolds is coming to the Broncos? Look, Gamble, I love the energy he's brought, and he's a good solid player, but he was never going to be the long-term option. I actually think Gamble to consider potentially maybe 13. He's a bit of a bigger body.
He's a bigger body. Yeah.
Aggressive. Put a bit of weight on him, and he could be a great 13 in my opinion. I think he's a good 14 as well. So, maybe they go Reynolds and Gambles next year if they don't sign a 6. But I think they're going to make a play at Nico Hines to play either 6 or 1.
Haven't they openly said that Katoni will be playing 6?
Nah, it's been like reportedly this, that.
See, I'm just getting misinformed until I come on Bloke at a Bar.
It's interesting to see what they do. Look, I don't mind a Reynolds Katoni partnership because Reynolds so structured.
Don't
Mate,
say it.
look,
Don't. Do not take a strike centre out of...
Katoni Stagg's the best 6 in the game.
No way. I do not want to see him try and develop skills he doesn't have. Start throwing cutout balls and getting intercepted. No, I want to see him raw power, one-on-one with the centre and just shrugging people off, beating fullbacks.
Can do that at 6. Look at Jack Whiten.
Yeah, Jack, yeah, true.
But yeah, true.
Yeah. No, there's something about Katoni that I want to see him just stay in the centres.
Yeah.
It's I just find that he's best footballer until he's done his apprenticeship. I've got to laugh about it, so I'm going to bring it up. And it's not even until he's done his apprenticeship. That leads me to my next thing. You remember you in the dressing room, and unless you'd played 100 games, you weren't allowed to say a word. It was like, shut the fuck up until you play 100 games.
Yeah.
And then, do you see old mate that blew the horn at the Canberra game?
No, what happened?
It was just some bloke. No disrespect to old mate. I just didn't know who he was.
Oh, it was a Raiders player that blew the horn.
It was a Raiders player, and it's like John Hardy, 50 games.
Oh, really?
52 games for the Canberra Raiders. And I thought...
That's
wow.
like a lot of people always like.
Wow.
Well,
you're gonna have some pedigree to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a lot of people are like, oh, come play 9s for the Broncos, Kempy. I'm like, bro, there's about a list of 100 fucking people that you would select to come back and come back to play for the Broncos than me. Fucking hell.
I just found it funny is that you weren't allowed to fucking say a word unless you'd played 100 games for a club,
or at least being in the first grade squad and played your 67
games.
or
that's the minimum standard. Right there. You've played 100 games, you've got to say.
Yeah.
Now you got John Hardy of 52 games blowing the horn for the Raiders.
They're
struggling to find people.
Poor bloody John Hardy.
How many times can Malmaninga blow it?
Mate, John Hardy's just having a fucking go and you're having a crack at the poor John Hardy.
Oh, Mansauce coming in again.
Oh, no. To'o again.
Brian To'o.
Wow. So this is going to be 50 maybe again. Wow. So how many weeks is that? So they won last week. So they'll have 50 put on them in the last twice, maybe, in the last 3 weeks. Look at Cleary. What are you doing? They can't come in. Yeah, wow. They have really... I can't see Mansour being there next week, to be honest.
Well, he's been up.
I love Mansour too. I think he's a fucking great player, but sometimes, you can't.
He's actually HI8 in the background.
Mate, he just wants
to end. Knocked himself
He
out.
just wants it to end. He just wants it to end. Sometimes as a winger, you just want to get off the field.
Yeah.
You're getting absolutely pizzled.
Is this thing changed? Has that always changed?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mate, it shows you how much you care about. I decorate this place for you. Come in and you don't even fucking notice it, mate.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking.
Fuck me dead.
Is there a fucking someone behind me here?
Liam Day wants to know, Rennie, how many burner phones are you running?
Oh, sorry, people. This is my work phone.
Is that your bra boy's phone, the second one?
No, this is my personal phone. This is work.
Oh, he has HIA'd himself.
He has knocked himself. I told you.
Oh my! How?
I try and leave separate lives, but my work life is very important, and I don't stop getting messages.
Freddie Catchin, I know Mansour's a gun, bro. I just said I love Mansour, but sometimes
just knocked himself out.
He's had a not great game today. Look at this. Cleary, 2 tries, 4 try assists.
He's the greatest,
mate.
So I take some small part in his development as a player.
It all stems from Rennie Matua being a dog and spraying him.
Spraying him and his father viciously on Fox.
Look at that. Wow, 50.
What are they drinking out there?
They're drinking Penrith piss.
Now he's slapping fans.
Oh, he's slapping fans. That's how easy it is for him.
I love Mansour thinking, am I still playing for Penrith?
Mate, maybe he hit his boot. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is HIA. That's also send-off. Send him off.
They
send him off.
That is...
Send him off, ref.
Contact with the head.
That's contact to the head.
That is contact with the head.
Rabbitohs are robbed.
He needs to be put on report.
Rabbitohs are being robbed. They were just coming back.
Put him on report at least.
This is fucking bullshit, man.
That is the
Rugby
equivalent.
league's dead.
That is the equivalent of an accidental headshot. Is it not?
It is.
Is it not?
It is.
That's an accident.
I'm with you, Reddy.
Fuck!
I need a picture of Cleary so I can put up his incredible stats. Because that was... yeah, could you just get us one, please? Just from this game. Because, wow. Maybe, could you edit the way I usually edit it, please? Like, maybe, as in not the stats edit, but the big writing at the bottom of the thing edit. And just go 2 tries plus 4 try assists. Yeah. Wow, what a game. 50-12. Holy
He hasn't
jeebus.
finished yet.
Oh!
Burton!
He's reneged! He's reneged! Wow.
This is big, man.
Holy shit. No one's beaten him. When you're drinking Panther piss mixed with blood, you're not going to get beaten, Rennie. They're fucking...
At some point, the fucking salary cap's going to break this team up as well.
Well, but that's what we thought about with the Storm.
Yeah, they just keep producing.
They just keep producing them, and these are all local juniors.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, well, that's what pisses you off.
Yeah.
How many Melbourne local juniors are there? There's
What-
none.
Mate, there's literally none. But they get them young. They get them young.
I mean, they've probably got the biggest catchment in New South Wales. Yeah, Penrith?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
So, I mean, you've got the best talent.
But then you go, yeah,
But
Brisbane's
it's
got...
finally, they're fucking channeled into their talent. You got
Yeah.
all these kids coming through, but at some point, they're going to be fucking broken up. I hate to say it.
No, you're a
Sorry
hater,
to be
mate.
pessimistic.
You're a hater, mate. Just because you signed fucking Burton and you filthy the
Come on,
Burton.
Burton.
You're filthy the Burton's reneged.
Mid-season fucking
Mate, you're
transfer.
filthy
Get out of there,
that.
Matty.
No, mate, you're filthy that Burton's reneged.
Get out of there,
Contract. There was a loophole. He's got a loophole.
You got to feel for Trent Barrett, mate. Let him have
Oh
something.
fuck! You know what? Even if like a lot of people like yes, Bulldogs are struggling, but I still believe that.
Maybe Baz could keep playing.
Mate,
Give
do
him a
something.
jersey.
But I still believe he's been a good buy for the club because
Yeah, absolutely.
there's no way you're recruiting who you've recruited without Trent Barrett. Do you know what I mean?
You're recruited.
Like all these Josh Adokar, Burton, Kotrick is an Origin player. Corey Allen played Origin. Then you've got
So where's
Luke
the
Thompson.
Dogs lacking?
No, I mean they're lacking Flanagan. We'll talk about Flanagan. Now Flanagan was a good recruitment in my opinion. Obviously, it's not working out at the moment, but that you need a good 9 and a good 6. Look at that hole, man.
So Alvaro, is it his name? Alvaro?
Alvaro, I don't.
What
He's.
position is he?
I don't know if he's a
centre?
half. He's more of a
Yeah.
centre, maybe. I think I see him more as a centre.
Yep.
And I used to need a 9 desperately. And
A
he's
fullback?
yeah.
I think
Who's your fullback right now? You've chopped and changed. Yeah, you need
Zelezniak.
a specialist fullback in my opinion.
Specialist fullback.
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
look, we probably need every position.
Right. Oh look,
We need a specialist centre.
and even you need a lock.
Probably need a couple of front rowers.
Yeah. You need a lock as well, I reckon.
Well, Josh Jackson, he's been injured, but I mean, he's put his. Like I love Adam Elliott's energy as well. I still
This is
think
the biggest ever win over South Sydney. Wow.
like Dylan.
Oh my God. Surely not.
Yeah, South,
Wow.
you'd see the energy. The energy was off from the start.
It's just incredible what Penrith have managed to do. Surely not. Oh my God.
Stronger than them. Like,
Yeah,
they're
they're just
in every
fucking-
facet of the game.
They're better.
Oh my God.
Bolster.
Oh my God.
No.
Oh my
no.
God.
Latrell will hold him up. If Latrell gets a good purchase on whoever's coming through, he'll usually hold him up.
Yeah. Player in the ruck, player offside. Not filling the space. Try time. Oh no, he stuck the arm out. Oh.
Mate, they're so lucky. If they score again and it goes to 60, holy shit. Thanks. This, What's the score again? 56-12.
Where does South go from here? Camp Dog? I'll let you put your post up first.
Mate. Oh, well, you talk. You speak to the people, Ren Dog.
Oh,
Speak
I'm
to
just
people.
trying to get my head around this scoreline first.
Mate, look at that defence from Cleary.
Oh, no.
He's been doing it all game, sir.
Who's that kid, number 18?
Spencer Leno. Gun.
Yeah.
Would be starting at most other clubs. Do the next game. Sorry, boys. You know what I'm going to do today, boys? I'm going to go home. I'm putting my phone on DND, Do Not Disturb,
Yeah.
and I'm playing video games.
That feature.
Hey?
I didn't know there was that feature.
I have it on. It's on most of the time.
I can't turn my work phone off. I have to be on call.
Mate.
Thanks to, I won't even talk about it. But, yeah, I wish I could D&D my phone sometimes. Hopefully no one at the company's watching. I never do. It's always on.
56-12. I did predict Panthers 13 plus before the game.
Correct.
I am the greatest rugby league analyst of all time. Wilford Newitt, what do you think? What do you think? Key and Rennie, maybe Kempy and Rennie. If Panthers win every game this season, play the Storm in the grand final, will the Storm win again? The Storm can beat any team in the comp.
Yep.
So absolutely they can win, but also if Penrith don't win, I play PC, Stefan Doon. If Penrith don't win, it's still a good season by regular standards, but it's also a huge letdown because they are doing everything possible. They're putting themselves in the perfect position to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if you want to be a champion team, I mean, you got to win the big one.
Yeah.
There's more pressure on them to win it this year.
100%.
They're expected to win.
Absolutely. I just wonder.
I just don't like Melbourne. For me, they're just like fuck. They're like Queensland.
Yeah, they're so good.
They're like a Queensland
but
side
I wonder
in a fucking National Rugby League
in
competition.
a big game without Cameron Smith, how do they go?
Yeah, you got Brendan Smith, you got Harry Grant, you got the Queensland side.
But it was Cameron Smith that he was vital to their dominance in that first half. He controlled that game to perfection.
I did not watch it.
The grand final?
No.
Oh, wow. Kempy, did you play the rugby league games? You and Rennie were... No, I didn't play any of the rugby league PS games or whatever. I played real game, bro. Come on, bros. I was playing like World of Warcraft and shit.
I never got into PS4s or anything.
Ever since I was younger, all I would do
Game Boy.
is train. All I do was train and then play games.
Orange flip handheld? Way before your time. You could play Donkey Kong on this little flip one. And then there was a Game Boy. Did you have the
Game Boy. I had a Game Boy, a purple one. I used to play Pokemon on it.
I don't know how we just got talking about games, but...
Well, it's because I'm going to go home and play video games.
Do you play video games?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes unwind.
Do you put the headphones on?
Yeah, absolutely. I work all day with headphones on.
So quickly, we're in Toronto. All the boys used to play that. Is it Fortnite?
Fortnite, yeah.
So we'd train all day. They'd be together. Then they'd all sit in their rooms talking to each other, playing Fortnite together all afternoon. I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's just different. Oh, here we go. Oh, fuck me dead. Kempy Ruinscape from Mirza Verk. No, I actually played Ultima Online. Well, TBC. Oh, man, I'm playing Shadowlands at the moment, bro. A little bit, but just like solo. I haven't got any friends online, so... yeah, I mean, I don't have any friends in real life, if I'm being honest, but both online and in real life. League of Legends, I've tried to get into League of Legends. I just can't. I fucking can't. Witcher 3 and Ultima Online, they're my greatest games of all time.
How did we go into game?
Probably going to go home and play Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Or, even though Assassin's Creed Valhalla is good because it's just like easy, accessible, even though it's not the greatest game. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is the greatest game ever. Yeah. Okay, gaming channel. There's just not much of an audience, man. You got to go worldwide. Australia, there's not really a big audience in Australia for ex-footy players playing video games. Maybe one day. I just don't get enough time. Guys, I barely ever get to play. It's just randomly every now and then. I used to play a lot.
I can't believe you're not watching this Sunday afternoon game.
Oh, no. What I do is I have a thing, so it's called...
A split screen?
No, it's on top. It's called On Top Republic. And what happens is you can put the game up, but it keeps that game on top of that screen. Do you know what I mean?
I'm confused.
So let's put it, it's picture in picture.
Yes.
So I'll have the game in a box in the corner.
Right.
And
While
then
you're playing
while
your
I'm
game.
playing, and I'll be like watching.
Is there joysticks or
Not joystick.
what's going on?
Joysticks. What are we in the 80s?
I don't know.
Joysticks.
I don't know.
Oh, already you've had a Barry Crocker, mate.
Oh, mate.
You're
I
too
don't
cool
know
for
anything
school.
about gaming. I'm in the ocean. I'm surfing. I'm not playing fucking video games.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, end result. Last thoughts, Rennie. What were your thoughts on that game?
I don't know. I just want to talk about head highs, and I can go on for another hour if you like. But Penrith has showed their dominance. Why they are probably, well, I would say them and Melbourne are too far, by far. There's nothing.
It's not even close.
Between 1, 2, and then nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they just showed why they're up top, I guess. I had fun today too.
Yeah, it was good. It's always good with
goatee.
mate. Oh my god.
The
Have a look at
goatee.
it. It's fucking so dark. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You are absolutely right. That is the best Assassin's Creed game. I just think they need to stop yearly releases, and they need to give themselves more time to put together groundbreaking games. I liked Assassin's Creed Origins and Odysseys, but Valhalla is not that good. Anyway, Diablo 3 was all right. Trying to get into Path of Exile, but it's too complicated. My thoughts on the game. Penrith Panthers just showed how far away the Rabbitohs are from being premiership threats.
Yep.
I speak about it all season. We say, like, constantly, if you are a premiership side, you cannot be winning games 38 to fucking 24 each week.
No.
You just can't. Or you can't be losing a first half and then fighting back. And that's the problem at the moment at the Rabbitohs is they're not clinical. They're not ruthless. They don't just fucking put teams away and every single week. It's a constant battle with the Rabbitohs where they play good for 20 minutes, blow them off the park, let in 4 or 5 tries, and then they blow them off the park in 20 minutes. You can't do that against Penrith Panthers. And I think we saw that. So, look, they're still in the hunt, in my opinion, even they got beaten by 50 again, as in, their 50 mark point. If any teams can do that, but they've got a lot to fix up before finals footy, in my opinion.
I think Souths have more chance of beating Melbourne than they do of beating Penrith
Yeah, that's true.
in a prelim.
Yeah, I agree.
Basically.
Yeah.
They had some good battles against Melbourne. Or
Yeah.
the other week. When they had all those players.
What's crazy is they nearly beat Penrith last year in the prelim. It 140-20 goes out, they beat Penrith.
Was that game?
Yeah, which sucks though, which is quite alarming to think that has the Rabbitohs gone backwards. To nearly beat Penrith in a prelim and then to get beaten by them 58 or whatever, and then Storm 2 weeks ago put them absolutely. The two big dog sides have. Was it the Storm that beat them by whatever?
It was by 50, but it was brewing. Since the Adam Reynolds stuff, it was brewing. And like you said, they were putting 20 points on teams, and they're letting 18 back, and then they'll put them back, or they're letting 20 in front, and then they'd beat them. So that 50 points sort of scoreline was brewing, and Melbourne did it, and now Penrith did it. The two best sides.
That's the worrying thing. The two big dogs have put them to the sword.
Hey, we don't play this fucking tit for tat football.
Yep.
We're putting you to the sword. One thing about South is they like to play footy. And they won't change that style. They won't go back to a structure. They won't play a boring style of play. They'll always play footy. But if you're going to beat a Melbourne or a bloody Penrith,
You've got to have a mixture.
You've got to be consistent with one or the other.
Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. Obviously, we've got the round review tomorrow with the one and only Finch Doggy Dog, releasing at 3 p.m. most likely. Also, the captain's run between 12 and 1 live on the SEN app with Cameron Smith. Make sure you listen. Make sure to grab a case of Bloke in a Bar, guys. That's the only reason why I got an opportunity with Cameron Smith is because you guys have built this platform and exposed me to the people that make these decisions. So let's keep building the thing. Yes, Cyberpunk was actually one of the most disappointing games I've ever played in my life.
Gaming off.
Mate, the goodwill that they built up with The Witcher as a CD project, as a consumer-friendly developer compared to things like EA and even Blizzard now. Blizzard used to be fucking good until Activision bought them. Anyway, Cyberpunk, huge disappointment. They should be sued for that fucking absolute disgrace of a game that they released. Even if the bugs are fixed, the game is shit compared to what it was supposed to be. And a lot of people... Anyway, we'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about it. I don't know about gaming.
Okay. Yeah, so guys, grab a case of Bloke in a Bar. We have some huge announcements coming this week. So stay tuned to our Instagram, Facebook, podcast, YouTube, everything. Massive announcement coming. And as usual, I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.